Table 12, Miles Saloons, Lee Morris. Miles Saloons, Lee Morris, table 12. Table 13, Sean Pitts, Lee Rowe. Sean Pitts, Lee Rowe, table number 13. Table number 14, Jules Goodwood, Corey Reese. Jules Goodwood, Corey Reese, table 14. Table 15, Carl Edwards, Jordan Shepherd. Carl Edwards, Jordan Shepherd on 15.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome back to IPA Tour 4 in the Doubletree Hilton in Coventry. Got a juicy clash here in the European Open event between Mark Farnsworth and Jordan Church. Just lagged off and Mark's won that lag, so Mark's a break first. Bit early in the morning for predictions, but it's going to be a tight one, I expect. Probably just slightly favour Mark, but Jordan's a capable player, as we know. This year's rising star on the IPA. So a ball down off the break for Mark. Probably there's no colour easier than the other, really. Both tricky, but it's all about the opener. He's going for this long red down there, and it's a tough shot to take on, the very first shot of the game, but when you're a bit cold, you want to get your arm in before you start taking on shots like that. But he was forced into it, really. Didn't have much else on. So it's an open table for Jordan. He's opted to take yellows. Just got one eye on the Jordan Shepherd's game. He's just to the right, out of picture, so just to the right of this table. So I'll be able to drip feed you some info on his game. I'll get the chat up and running soon. Answer any questions if I can. Yeah, I'd like to have come back a little further there, Jordan, to take the yellow he's closest to the opposite middle, but he didn't really get into the bottom of the cue ball as he'd have liked, so he's going to have to take this one to the right middle, and his white's going to be running away, so just got to mind this red on the way back up. Yep, that's not too bad. He's got a nice window there to get through to this yellow to top right, and that's a good shot. It's just opened up that area now. Now the key to this frame now is going to be the black. Not sure whether he'll want to drop right behind it and play it into the middle. Again, he's not so screwed that, so he's got more of an angle on this yellow than he'd like, so he might have to run away with the cue ball again. Yeah, maybe come off 3 cushions. Don't think he can hold. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, and he's in prime position there to take this to the top right and leave himself like black to middle. That wasn't a good shot. I don't know whether he was trying to come back down past this red to take the black up into the top right, or he just got into it too much to take it to the middle. But either way, it's a total snooker, so a bit of a let off for Mark, unless Jordan can conjure up some magic again. Yeah. So unforced error there for Jordan. Mark's already only got one. Wouldn't say tricky, but the one on the rail. On the bottom left of the table. Might stun down for that one. No, he's going to take these 2. Yeah, it makes sense. Take the 2 out of the top of the table, and then he can finish his work at the bottom end of the table, and with the black being in the bottom half of the table, he should be able to get position. Well, he's choosing to come down, so he's going to have to. Well, he might play the one to the top right and then stun down for the bottom right. So it's going around the houses a bit, but should still get the desired effect. Just wants to, if he plays that one to the top right, he just wants to avoid the jaw on the middle bag, or he might just choose to pop it off the cushion like that. Yeah, and it's all about this shot. Sort of a bit in between, because the one to the right's not got a lot of angle, so he'd have to play that with quite a bit of power to get back across. I'll just see how it goes on. And he's played it, topped it through. That's a good shot, great shot. And now we could just float this red in. Can't see him missing this, and actually be on the black to right middle. And Mark takes a 1-0 lead. Riley's there, our sponsor for this weekend, sponsoring the IPA. It's like Jordan Shepherd's digging deep and playing a bit of a tactical battle. It's a rare sight. It's normally hoovering up. So here we go. Jordan, monster break, which he's just he's got that yellow's hanging. I'd play your shot quickly, Mark, because I'll drop soon. Yeah, he's got. It's a little bit tricky because he's got 2 bags covered here. If he was to choose to take reds, there's a red covering the bottom left and a yellow there, so probably just about favour yellows here, with the one awkward one on the bottom left rail. Might have to play a plant first here, and I might send his white down and try and develop that in one shot. Yeah, he's got the yellow, and he's also opened that bag up on the bottom left. So with him potting one of each, he's still an open table, so he can still take either yellows or reds. Might be. I think he might be tempted to play reds here. Just drop the one in the middle. Depends how he sees it. Personally, I take the one to the middle. Just rest on the yellow. Guarantee position on the red to the bottom left. So having a good look. He's made his... No, it's not made his mind up yet. Just looking at the angle he'd leave if he potted this red to middle. So, no. He's choosing to take the other red. So he's just dropped that in, used the yellow and just flicked off it to get a bit more angle, but he should be able to just screw this straight up the table. May have come a bit short there. Had quite a lot more room to play with, but he's still got a plant option. It's just gone a little bit tricky. Yeah, it's not too bad. He's got that bag covered, so he's still got control of the table. Jordan's not really. Well, he's not got, apart from a cut to the middle, which he might take on. And if he can get into the bottom of the white enough, he might take this to the middle and try and go straight back up the table and develop that area. Oh, he's oh, where's that gone? So he's hit the ball too thin. The white's gone around the table, kicked the black, and he's given 2 shots away. So all Mark has to do is if that red passes the other red, it's quite a simple, just roll through and he'll be guaranteed to be on the other red. Black over the hole, should be 2 now. Just planted it on. Now he's going to have to play this with check side. Should be okay, which he is. I'll just drop this in. And that should be 2-0. There it is. So, bit of a scruffy break there. He's made a ball. He's got absolutely no shot. Odd looking break with all the balls situated sort of over to that right hand side. No ball on the left hand side, so I expect a bit of a tactical exchange here while these balls are opened up. So I've just got the chat up, so any questions, keep it clean. Might be younger viewers watching, so probably not really having a shot on here. He's probably just going to try and maybe dump this white on the bottom cushion if he can. He's just looking at shaving off this red, tying that yellow up, and leaving the white somewhere on the bottom cushion if he can, or as close to. With Jordan being such an attacking player, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him try and make something of this, or is he just looking at the safe option? Yeah, it's that yellow's not touching the cushion, so he can just play a little roll into that, and he should get a snooker. It won't be a great snooker, but it just contains mark from making the finish. He's played it leaving Mark the option, but sort of forcing Mark to move that red away from his yellow, unless he decides to come across the table. He's just shaving off it again, just keeping that yellow tied up. Yeah. But Jordan's one of the best players at developing these situations into a frame winning opportunity. He's, I think one of the only reasons stopping him from trying to develop this frame is that yellow to the top right, because it doesn't pass the red. But he has got balls around the middle that he can drop behind that to the opposite corner. So he might be looking to play this into this yellow into the middle. If he can play it with a bit of power. Yeah, question from Oliver Rourke. What tips would you give to improving patterns when going for finish? Well, I probably wouldn't be the best person to ask that question, because the way I take out my finishes is always different to everybody else. I'm a very unorthodox pool player, but I would suggest if you wanted to better that part of your game, is to book yourself in with a good coach. There's plenty out there, plenty of the pros give lessons. It is definitely worth the money, you know, to get pay for their knowledge and know-how. I know people like Gaz Hibbert and Gaz Potts, and well, the list is endless. Depends what area you are, you know, find one local to you. And yeah, Neil Kingsman's giving you a good answer there. So if you watch plenty of pool, and you see how most of the pros and some of the amateurs, because the amateurs are very capable as well, but if you watch the way the pros go about finishes, and when they choose to take out finishes and when they don't, it's good for improving your game. You can take it to your own practice table. So Mark keeping that yellow tied up, that's the only ball stopping Jordan from winning this frame, really. I'm pretty surprised at Jordan, probably for the fact that he's 2-0 down. It's the only reason why he's not gone for it already. I think if he was 3 or 4-0 up, he'd be definitely having a go at these. And that suggests to me that he might be having a go now. Maybe try and top this through. Oh, he's got that all wrong. He's not happy with himself either. He's got a long ball down to the bottom right. The bottom left, but that's a good shot. But now he's just fighting it now. There's nothing I play the snooker. Has done. And he's got it. So that's a good shot, but all really Mark needs to do is, if it's a total snooker, is just make contact with the ball, and as long as that yellow's tied up at the very top yellow on the table, Mark's in a good position here. Jack Hand, what's the IPA's rules on penalties on people cheating / match fixing? Well, because we do some betting in conjunction with Coral Ladbrokes. Cheating and match fixing is a complete no-no. I don't know any player on this tour that does cheat or fix matches, and they would be expelled with no return to this tour. I'm pretty certain of that. It's very clean. I'm not saying it's never gone on in pool or any Q sport for that matter, but I'm pretty sure if it was to go on the tour, they wouldn't play on the tour again. So Jordan got another bite of the cherry there, and takes the frame. So while I was answering that question, so he's got the break, which has been absolutely huge, just recently for Jordan. So I don't think you'll see many dry breaks from Jordan. So, absolutely lovely break there. No dangers on yellows here. Just he's going to be running away here, so if he can run back down, he's got so many options here. Probably like to take the two out of the top half of the table. Get rid of those. Finish his work off at the bottom half of the table, naturally for the black into the left centre. Don't really have to do a lot with the cue ball. Stuns this in. Takes the one to the top left. He's going to have to screw back a bit, but he's got a huge area to play with here. Didn't get hold of that enough. So now he's either going to have to really check this white up now to slow the white down, because it's going to be travelling back up the table. It's a careless shot, that really. Maybe just feeling a little bit of pressure, and his arm's not loosened up properly yet. But he certainly wanted to be at least another foot further down the table. I don't even know if he can check this up. He'd have to be playing it with a hell of a lot of side, bottom right hand side. That's a great shot. He's got a little nudge off the knuckle on the middle bag there, and just landed absolutely plumb. So 2 apiece. My prediction of a close match is still there at the minute. Any more questions on here? Where is the best place to purchase a table like what they are playing on now, and what price? If you look, look on the back of Mark's shirt for one example. 8 Ball Direct. I think they do a deal, Gareth. They'll actually just supply and fit you a table, and it's like a £25 a week finance or something like that. I think if you asked for one to be delivered and fitted, you're looking around about the £800 or £900 mark. All depends on styles, and you can have different patterns on the woodwork and etc. But just for a bog standard table, you're probably looking anywhere between £750 and £950 or something like that. That'll get you one of these tables, brand new, with the Simonis 861 cloth, which is a really nice cloth and low maintenance as well. You don't have to brush and iron it. You can just give it a once over. They have these little devices called the X pad, which is like a brush. It's more like a clothes brush more than anything. That just sweeps away the debris, any chalk and hairs or whatever that might be on the table, and away you go. You don't have to heat the iron up. So it's one last job for our table technicians, having to do 20 tables. They don't have to brush and iron them. And Neil's just pointed out you can buy them after the tour event. They are in. You can buy them cheap, $450, $500 off the tour, but they're normally snapped up within a few hours of them being mentioned on social media that they're available. They're normally snapped up. So I wouldn't nail your hat on to getting one off the tour. So meanwhile, Mark had a dry break. Jordan missed a ball to the centre bag. And Mark's chosen to take yellows. So it's Mark will be just looking for the best way to get on that yellow, just above left middle. I'm not sure whether it passes the red for the double into the opposite pocket. So you might have to get on it to the top left. This looks tricky now. He's going to be queuing over, and won't be in ideal position for his next ball. So this is really gone really tricky now, and with Jordan's balls situated where they are, it's important he either gets a pocket covered, which I can't really see, or makes this finish, which is looks. So he's made that ball. Now he's out of position. So he's going to have to come up with a really good shot here. He could. Extremely difficult shot, but he could play this to the bottom right and stun across, and if he can find the gap for the yellow up to the top left. Extremely difficult shot. He's going to have to some control here. So he's made the ball, and don't really know whether he was trying to move that yellow out. Great pot, and now he's got no shot because the path of the double is blocked by reds. A very slim chance of doubling it back up into the top right, but it'll be a very fine cut. It'll be a 1 in 20 shot. So I think he's forced into it. Yeah, he didn't cut it enough, but in doing so, he's been a bit lucky there. He's tied a couple of reds up at the top end of the table. They don't go into either pocket, so a little bit lucky there. But Jordan should be able to get control of this table. So Jordan's just got rid of one of his bad balls, knowing that the white's going to be travelling to an area where it's going to leave it difficult for Mark, even if he missed. So he's done that. I'm not sure if it's a total snooker, because I think he might be able to see an edge of the yellow at the top left. Maybe just swerving it round a little bit. Has done, made contact, so I think it must have been a total snooker, because the ball didn't touch the cushion after contact, so there's no foul been called, so presuming it was a total snooker. So Jordan will do the same now, just put another one over the pocket. And again, just checking to see if it's a total snooker or not, whether he can see an edge. Might be able to see an edge on this one. Now, if that's the case, and he played that edge, the white's naturally going to be going in off into the. So he's probably going to have to come cushion first, bump the yellow, and make sure he makes contact with the cushion again. Any chance of a commentary mention for pool match up or pool match UP? blackball.com, please. We're trying to build up a community of players, and it also includes the UK's first pool club directory. It's all free. So there's a mention for you, Mark Davies, or Davies, or Davis, whichever, Davies. Good luck with that one. So Jordan just keeping the shackles on Mark in this frame, and now he's got his awkward balls out in the open. One passes to the left and the other one goes to the opposite, so he's kept Mark in a position where he can't win the frame. I might be tempted to play some side off the top cushion and try and flick that yellow into the top left. He's not really got many other options, and the door's closing in on him on this frame, so he's got to do something soon, because the way the balls are situated, Jordan will make light work of clearing them up. So he's looking at two cushions, and yeah, he's missed it. But and he's just done Jordan a real favour there, because the ball behind the black there was a little bit tricky. Shouldn't have made much of a difference, but now he's got ball in hand, so I expect Jordan probably just to pop the yellow at the top of the table there, just to open that pocket up, and he shouldn't, famous last words, have any trouble with these balls over the pockets. So just run through here, absolutely perfect. And a couple of little drop-ins, little stun up the table. No bother. And that's 3-2 lead to Jordan. So pretty even in the not a lot of difference in the stats department, as expected. Only one missed ball each, an unforced error by Jordan. Both had a dry break. Another monster break there from Jordan. Made two yellows and a red, so 3 down off the break. Probably take reds. A couple of tricky ones on the rail, but he's got this one now down to the bottom right. He can just stun behind one of them. Like that, left himself a nice little angle so he can play this down the rail and bring his white back out into the centre of the table. He might choose, yeah, if he's got enough angle here, he might choose to develop that red on the cushion. Oh, he's missed a pot. No, that's careless. He was concentrating on the cannon. He got the cannon absolutely perfect, because if that red drops, he's just got a couple of drop-ins to win the frame, but he's missed the pot. So a bit careless there from Jordan. He's not presented Mark a great opportunity, because he's still got control of the table with that ball covering the bottom left. So no, and a missed pot from Mark. And as ever, I can put the curse on anybody at the start of this frame of saying, as expected, very little missed pots, and then we go and make one each in this frame. So nothing to do with the white here, and Jordan Church takes a 4-2 lead over Mark Farnsworth. So Mark to break, 4-2 down from being 2-0 up, so he's lost 4 on the bounce now, and he's screwed straight enough. Things aren't just going Mark's way at the moment, so he was dry there, a dry break. He might pop that yellow over the pocket and take reds. Just depends how this comes out. Got a little flick off that red on the way through, which is, and I think he put his hand up, so I don't think it's going to affect him too much. He's going to get rid of all these 3 at the bottom end of the table. Where it looks like he's gonna be leaving that one over the pocket till last. Needs to be relatively straight on this, or unless he can just top through and nudge the top yellow of those 2 that are together. It's a delicate shot, this. Oh, he's tried to play one off the other. It's got to go down as another missed pot. So he's given Mark a chance in this frame, and he shouldn't really have had one. But I think Jordan made a mistake there at the start of that frame where he had his one free visit. He could have done better to develop that little area at the top there, because it was tight. I thought he might have potted the yellow that he potted, and then moved the two that are together away from the area, so he had more room to work with. But that's by the by now. I think Mark will be can play an aggressive shot here. Yeah, I know he's been unlucky. He was just careering into that area and hoping to develop something, and unless that yellow passes to the middle pocket, it's been a bit unlucky. Don't know if it does. Yeah, I think he might be lining it up, so it might do. Or as he can take it to the... Oh, that's a great shot. He's just opened himself. He got himself a frame-winning opportunity now, so a great shot from Mark. Another good shot there, just using the angles, and this will be a good steal if he can pinch this ball. But Jordan had his chance, and against this man, more than anybody, you've got to take those chances. Our current ranked #1 player of this season, Mark Farnsworth. Probably wants this white to slow up. He's going to be in no man's land. Yeah, just about left himself a shot. Dispatches that black, so good finish there from Mark. Just gets himself within touching distance again of Jordan. Didn't want Jordan to start running away from him, because he's one of those players. Jordan, once he's on a roll, he's a hard player to stop. So just giving him something to think about there. And I'm just going to nip off for a short while. I've got to go and use the breakfast facility before it shuts, so I'll catch up with you in a bit, guys.
Is that up to date?
Right, good morning. Andrew's had to pop away for some food, so you're going to have to put up with me for the rest of this match. I haven't seen any of it, so see if I can get to grips with it. Looks up. It's fair to say that absolutely brutal first round or last 1 to 8, because obviously this is the first round that the professionals are in the tournament. Absolutely brutal first round draw for Mark Farnsworth and Jordan Church. Jordan is one of the leading amateurs because it's his first year on the tour. I think I haven't seen, without looking at the rankings, I'm fairly certain he's going to end up with an opportunity to turn pro next year if he chooses. But he's the runner-up in Bradford two tournaments ago. So Mark under a bit of pressure. And he's come up dry. Really good opportunity now for Jordan to get himself 1 frame away from winning. Really put it to Mark. So tricky finish. There's a finish on both colour sets here. It looks if it goes yellows, then he's got a yellow on the right hand side that is tricky. Doesn't go to the top right, so that would be the biggest stumbling block. The rest of the yellows are fairly okay. Reds are probably, depends on, the black does go, so if he chooses reds, then every red's got a pocket, but it's possibly, it's a tricky finish as well, so it's whether he chooses to move the yellow out or work his way around the reds. So he's gone reds. I think the biggest challenge for Jordan here is going to be, she's got to be careful with the one down the bottom right and the one next to the yellow in the middle of the table. It goes to the top left and top bottom left. It's got pockets, but it's got to be careful getting on it. I think he's going to drop this one into the top right, and then the next shot is probably the key to the frame. If he can get good position off the next shot, it should unfold nicely. But it's a really tricky next shot. Looks like he can just drop this in and hold for the one next to the yellow, but he needs a good angle on it. Just flicked the jaw, but slid in nicely. He's faced with a really tough ball down the rail now, hampered queuing, and possibly too much angle to just hold for that red in open play in the middle of the table. So may play this a little bit firmer and look to play for that red into the top left rather than the left middle. That's a really good shot. Decided to come twice across the table and could not have played it better. Really impressive shot. So Jordan looks in fine form this morning. I wonder whether having to go through qualifying yesterday has helped him at all. This is Mark's first match of the weekend. He wasn't. He had a bye through in the professional first round as the top seed. With the uneven number of players, he was quite rightly got the bye, and he'll be in the second round of the professional on Sunday. So didn't have to play at all yesterday. In fact, I didn't see him here yesterday, so I don't know whether he travelled up this morning or last night. But I wonder whether the table time and the match practice that Jordan had yesterday is an advantage. It's a fantastic break as well. The reds in the middle of the table are easier, but the red at the top of the table doesn't go anywhere, so no choice but to go yellows this time. The yellow just above the black and the yellow below the left middle are going to be a couple of tricky balls, but he's going to clear the 4 at the top first, I would think, and then come down. So key shot in this frame will be when he pots the last of the balls at the top. Although he's left himself an angle now, he could actually just slowly go into that triangle of 3 red, yellow and black, which is what he's played, and he's actually made it worse. Not sure if he can see enough of the yellow over the left middle to snick it in, but it doesn't gain him too much of an advantage if he does. So okay, so I think he's played for the yellow down the left-hand rail as we look at it. He wanted a bit more angle because he needs the white to come across and cannon the red and yellow. So he's actually, although it's an easier pot from where he was actually trying to get it the white further to the right, to give him more angle to be able to get across the table. To do it now, he'd really have to punch it in. Oh, it's a great effort. So a reprieve for Mark. So one of the great strengths from Mark, having watched him for the last couple of seasons, is his ability to win matches like these. I suspect he's been sat there without watching the whole match, inside frustrated that he hasn't had the opportunities, but certainly hasn't since I've sat down. But he knows that if he gets one, the match can turn, and he's more than capable of running 4 frames out and turning this match around. So he's seen him win a number of matches from these sort of positions. Overrun that positional short a fraction, but it's okay. He's straight enough that he can just drop this in and hold for the red below the black to the bottom left. Didn't quite get into that one as much as he wanted. He left him on the rail, but shouldn't prove too much of a problem for him. Yep. So as we look at the stats, if they're correct, as Andrew was keeping them correct, then we noticed that Jordan's actually missed more pots and has more unforced errors than Mark, but finds himself 6-4 up, which is kind of a surprise if you looked at those stats. The dry break statistic from Mark's going to need to change if he's going to win this match. Jordan looks in the sort of looks in such confident mood that if Mark doesn't make a ball off the couple of breaks he would have if it went to 7-6, then you'd expect Jordan to take one of those chances. But disaster for Mark, he's gone in off. Be interesting to see what he chooses to do with his free shot. So those of you new to Blackball or used to other rules, he's got a free shot here to open the table up as he sees fit. Okay, that's a clever little shot. He's opened the yellows up at the bottom of the table, and he can play this yellow off the yellow over the pocket, and that should open the yellows at the top up. It's very clever 2 shots he's just played. A table that looked a complete mess when he came to it, even with a free shot, and 2 shots has opened up quite nicely. Still got a little problem with the yellow to the right middle. I wonder if he was looking for an angle off this yellow to be able to sort of screw or stun down off one cushion and just gently nudge into it. I'm not sure he has that angle. No, he hasn't. It's just straight, come straight back. This is it's a tricky little finish from here. I think he can... Yeah. Oh, that only just reached. If he was straighter on the yellow down the rail, he could drop it in and play for the yellow to the top left, but he's got quite a lot of angle on it, so as you just saw, he's looking to come, pointed his cue at the red off the rail, so he's looking to hit rail, then catch the red. Doesn't want to touch the yellow, he wants to catch the red. Like that, or he wanted it just a fraction thinner on the red. But he's okay here, he can still pot this. Just needs to control the white. And he has absolutely perfectly. So there's black for the match, and a great start to our stream table. A surprising result. Mark Farnsworth, the tour number 1, is fallen at the first hurdle, and a great victory for Jordan Church. Sorry, too many Jordans. I think that just shows the standard of the tour, that you can have a player like Jordan playing Mark first round. Absolutely incredible, and tough on both players, but it's Jordan that moves on. I believe the matches today, this morning,